big stories. The war between Israel and Hamas continues to intensify as it enters its sixth day. We'll be speaking with one of the survivors, Parizer, who was at the Supernova Music Festival in the desert that Palestinian militants stormed.
More than 1 million Filipinos are suffering from depression. That's according to the World Health Organization.
And Gilas Pilipinas team manager Alfrancis Chua will be joining us here later in the studio to talk about the national team's historic run in the 19th Asian Games.
Welcome to the show. I'm Regina.
I'm Gretchen.
And I'm Shawn.
We begin tonight with the story of the 2 confirmed Filipino casualties in the Israel-Hamas war, whose families are, as expected, devastated over the loss. Both of these Filipinos were found to be caregivers who remained with their patients until the very end. Regina with the big story.
Just after the Hamas launched its surprise attack on nearby towns in the border with Israel, this man posted on social media a photo of an Israeli couple together with their caregiver. According to the caption, which was written in Hebrew, the couple in the photo are the man's parents, Lilac and Terry Kipnis, who were both residing in Kibbutz Be'eri. The man appealed for information regarding his parents, who he said was in a safe house together with their caregiver Paul. As it turns out, Paul is an overseas Filipino worker, one of the 2 confirmed by the Philippine government to have been killed in the war. The victim was identified as Paul Castelvi from Pampanga. Deep sadness blanketed the home of the Castelvi family in San Fernando City, Pampanga, upon learning the loss of their family's breadwinner. Cherry, Paul's elder sister, is still distraught over the news.
Wala po siyang iniisip, puro kami lang po. Yung mga magulang namin, yung mga anak ko, wala po siyang ibang ginagawa kundi pasayahin po yung mga magulang namin.
The Castelvi family is now hoping for the immediate return of Paul's body. They are also hoping for the safe return of Paul's wife, who is in Tel Aviv.
Buntis po siya 8 months, manganganak po siya dapat, yun nga, next month. Para pagkatapos niya manganak, dapat uuwi sila ng December para magbakasyon, para iuwi nga yung bata dito. Dapat makikita po niya yung anak niya, pero hindi na po mangyayari.
On Saturday, when the attacks began, Paul's wife told Cherry that Paul hid in a bomb shelter. But in the succeeding days, his phone was no longer reachable. Come Tuesday, the son of Paul's employer told Paul's wife that he has reason to believe his parents, along with Paul, had been abducted. And the following day, Paul's death has been confirmed. Aside from Paul, the city government of San Fernando, Pampanga set up a monitoring team to locate the remaining residents in the war-torn country. The local government unit identified more than 10 Fernandinos working in Israel, including Castelvi.
Nagpapamonitor kami ngayon kung ilan ba yung mga Fernandinos na nandun. So yun, ongoing din yung pagsasaliksik ng mga kung sino-sino. Sana wala na, no?
As for the second confirmed victim, the deputy mayor of Jerusalem, Fleur Hassan Nahum, identified her in a social media post as Angeline, who was caring for her elderly patient Nira when the attacks happened. In her caption, Nasan Nahum shared that Angeline, despite having a chance to flee the Hamas attacks, showed, quote, unbelievable humanity and loyalty by remaining in Nira's side during the violence, resulting in both of them being murdered by the Hamas. Angeline was from Pangasinan and had been a caregiver in Israel for 6 years. The Philippine Embassy in Tel Aviv vows for the immediate repatriation of the remains of the 2 Filipino casualties.
We have received a request for assistance po sa pagpapauwi ng dalawang nasawi at we are still coordinating with the authorities po sa pag-retrieve po ng body.
Meanwhile, President Bongbong Marcos said he has spoken to the victim's family over the phone last night, which he said was the most difficult call he had to make as a president. He said the nation is one in grieving with the victims' families, and he assured them that they will provide the utmost support. Rainiel Pawid, We Are One News.
The fighting between Israel and a Palestinian militant group Hamas enters its 6th day, with Israel conducting large-scale strikes as it prepares for a ground offensive and Hamas threatening to execute Israeli hostages. The death toll is now estimated to have gone past 2,500, with more than 8,000 injured on both sides. Countries around the world are scrambling to repatriate their citizens, the Philippines included. Israel is now also shelling southern Lebanon in response to a rocket attack by the armed group Hezbollah. Now, to give you an idea, here's what the nighttime sky looks like across Israel and the Gaza border. Rocket fires exchanged and sounds of artillery fill the air amid the ongoing conflict.
All right, eto naman, a daytime look at Gaza, the territory looking like a set of an apocalyptic movie, except what we are seeing is very much real. Whole buildings flattened to the ground. This is a city being reduced to rubble. And it does not end there. Gazans are also facing a water and power crisis as Israel has put the enclave under total siege. Health workers are also having a hard time treating war casualties as more and more people get sent to hospitals.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has gathered his war cabinet with the goal of, quote, crushing Hamas to the ground. His cabinet men, composed of incumbent and former defense ministers, now hold considerable power under Israel's new emergency government.
And I am saying here to everyone, we will wipe this thing called Hamas. ISIS Gaza off the face of the earth. It will cease to exist. There is a time for war and a time for peace. Now is a time for war.
A couple of hours before the attacks began last Saturday, Israelis were wrapping up their week-long holiday. And this footage has become one of the most haunting and horrific of this whole war. As you can see, hundreds of people were at the Supernova Music Festival, a desert rave, enjoying themselves, completely unaware of what was about to unfold. As dawn broke, these people were running for their lives as Hamas militants in motorized paragliders swooped in and shot anyone in sight. Among those who survived the shooting was Parizer, who posted this video on Instagram.
So many of my friends stayed there, so many people. We're just gonna have fun, gonna party, begin running for their lives. Which party in the world turns into a bloodshed?
Joining us tonight is the woman in that video, Parizer, who's now in Zikron, Israel. Good evening, Maya. Thanks for joining us.
Hello. Thank you for letting me speak and tell my story to the world.
First of all, let me just say that we are just so sorry to be speaking to you under such circumstances. I hope it had been a whole nother story. But are you safe now? Are you at a safe place?
There is no safe space in Israel at the moment. We are being fired at from all over the north, the south. Hamas is a huge terror organization that just infiltrated Israel, kidnapped and slaughtered people. Inside, they got inside army base, kibbutzes, settlements. No place is safe at the moment. And
we're so sorry to hear that. And also, I apologize for having to ask you to do this, but please take us back to that Saturday at the Supernova Music Festival. Exactly where were you? Talk us through what was happening. Exactly where were you? What was going on, and at what point did you realize that something was going horribly wrong? We're going to roll some pictures for our viewers, so if you could just talk us through that.
Yes, so we've been waiting for this rave for about 6 months or so. Everyone was so excited to go there. People from all over the world also came. This is a huge music festival for people who love trance music. Me and my friends, we came around 2 in the morning, dancing, drinking. You know, some people were not 100% on focus. We did not expect to be interrupted. This party was supposed to last until 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Around sunrise at 6:30, we looked up in the sky because we heard so much noise and booms. and we saw a lot of missiles and rockets being launched. Let me tell you, being an Israeli doesn't make it okay to fire even one missile at you. Which country in the world will allow missile after missile after missile? And this is the reality we've been facing for the last 70 years or so. But this time it was worse. It was so much worse. The sky was full of the launch and the fires. We were so scared. The policeman, after 20 minutes, the police that was guarding the party told us, you need to leave this immediately. He did not tell us. Also, terrorists came in the land. A lot of people started to panic. Many people thought it was better to stay because the roads were really packed with people, with cars. We took a decision that changed our life and makes me present here to talk to you, to go to the car and drive. We drove, and throughout the road, so many cars turned and ran. A lot of cars were abandoned at that time. And then we started hearing shooting. You just, pull the gas, you drive as fast as you can. You don't believe that 5 minutes ago you're dancing, having the time of your life, and now you're in this nightmare. And they wish it would stop, but it didn't. Throughout an entire day, we began receiving more and more messages of people in that area saying, the terrorists have got in my kibbutz, the terrorists are outside, we need help, we need help. So many calls, so many people in need. Later, we began to learn that they just beheaded people, burned them alive. I'm sorry, but I don't see any reason for this behavior. It's the same as ISIS. It's the same as Al-Qaeda. It pains me to see that people in the world find excuse for this kind of behavior. These are not human beings. Hamas is a terror organization that slaughtered people and posted it in the social media. Barbaric behavior that deserves them to be destroyed. A lot of my friends are not here with me. A lot of my friends were survivors. They actually saw the terrorists. We just got lucky that we were on the road and we had a path to escape. A lot of my friends didn't. They came on motorcycles, shooting with all kinds of weapons, making sure double that even people, put on some blood from the friends that died in front of them, and they came and shot them twice and 3 times to make sure everyone is dead. This is not soldiers. This is not the military. This is not a government. This is innocent people, babies, old people, disabled, girls, women, parading and spitting on abusing their bodies throughout social media. And for me, the thing that pains me the most is to see how people actually accept this behavior, saying we're settlers. It doesn't matter if we're settlers, if we're occupiers, if we're anything. No one should behave like this. This is innocent people, not army people.
Right. And it also pains us to listen to your stories. But Maya, did all of your friends make it out of that music festival? And do you personally know anyone who did not?
Yes, I do. Unfortunately, I do. I know friends who went to the party and didn't come back. Friends who drank and sat with me, where we shared stories. I had no idea it was going to be the last time I'm seeing them. There are so many stories, so many people, so many young people who just came to have fun. Imagine going to Tomorrowland and not coming back from it. Imagine going to, Coachella in the US, not returning. This is beyond any imaginable behavior.
Maya,
And
like you
they
said,
enjoyed it. They were happy. They posted in social media over and over how they execute people, how they abuse them. The world needs to get involved and to say stop. Hamas needs to be shut down immediately.
All right, Maya, you said you were lucky enough, you moved fast and you were able to go away. But did you personally witness after you had fled in the car, were there people getting kidnapped still in front of you and around you? Or were you really ahead of the pack, meaning in front of everybody else trying to leave?
So apparently we had the perfect timing. I don't know how, but while we were on the road escaping, we saw a lot of cars already abandoned. And later we learned that all of the people that came before us was shot at. The moment we were in the road, maybe 3 or 4 cars were with us, and we started hearing shooting at us. I don't know how we got so lucky, but we managed to escape, and we were driving and driving until someone pulled us and told us what we were so scared. Terrorists are in here. You need to go to this kibbutz and hide and take place. We just found a shelter with no door, just, for protection of missiles. The country is not prepared for people entering and killing us. And my friends who stayed in the exact same shelter, just in a different kibbutz, got kidnapped, got killed. I have one survivor friend from one of those shelters in kibbutz Re'im, and she thought they threw grenades into the shelter. There were 15 people, and they just keep throwing grenades. She told me friends took the grenades, and the people that were there took the grenades, threw them out as fast as they could. Some lost their hands. This is people that just went to party, and 20 minutes later need to do whatever it takes to survive. This is beyond possible.
Maya, I know you are in the central northern part of Israel. How are transportation lines right now? And is leaving Israel an option for you? Something you're considering?
I'm not considering. So many of my friends now got drafted to help protect our country. And I think we need to stick together. If anyone can run and abandon, this will just give the terrorists what they want. And they wish we were the final goal, but it's not. We're just the beginning, wiping Jewish, not getting a Palestine state. They just want to kill the Jewish people. And this is just the beginning. So we are not even looking at options to fly from here. We are here to stay and fight for our land, for our values, for against terror. Even now, our army is not just killing, whatever. They're trying to do specific targets, specific Hamas targets. We are aware that there are innocent people in Gaza. Unfortunately, the Hamas doesn't see any person, any citizen as something else than a settler that needs to be beheaded. I'm sorry, but I'm just a kid. Why do I need to be beheaded? Because I don't think the same way as they do. This makes no sense. And for the world to support this, to be happy that Jews are being killed, it just takes us back to the Holocaust days. The days we thought are over.
Maya, how's your family? Are they safe?
Yes. At the moment, we have one missing family member from Kibbutz Be'eri that we don't know what is going on with her. We are praying that she will be safe. But other than that, my family is safe. And we're just hoping that everyone that got drafted will remain safe, and everyone that is in the home will also be safe. My hope is just to wake up from this nightmare and see that nothing happened and we were just partying. But this is not the reality, unfortunately.
Maya, just a quick question. How are things in Israel right now, apart from the areas on the border where I understand fighting is most heightened? Those in the other areas, is life normal? Like, do kids still go to school? Is there still work for adults? Are stores open? How are things in general?
Only in general. So in the places that are safe at the moment, things are supposed to be as usual, but no one is just going to work. A lot of people are actually volunteering through work, through communities, through activities. I just came back from volunteering. People are bringing food to the ones in the borders, in the north and in the south, bringing food and clothing to soldiers, making sure the morale is happy. Everyone is very in this together. Doesn't matter if you're in the army or just here. People also volunteer to guard the settlements in Israel. People are volunteering, and we're just hoping the rest of the world continues to support us and help us with stuff that we need. Okay. And in social media, for sure.
Okay, we're gonna have to leave that there for now. Maya, we hope you keep safe. I know that's much easier said than done, but try as best as you can. And we thank you for your bravery in speaking to us tonight and possibly even putting yourself at risk. That was Maya Parizer live to us from Israel.
Up next, the Justice Department says it will look into allegations of corruption within the LTFRB despite the so-called whistleblower recanting his statements. The details when we return. Good evening, you're still watching The Big Story here on One News. 2 days ago was World Mental Health Day, and today the Department of Health and PhilHealth launched a mental health benefit package to make mental health care more accessible. Here's a fact that everyone should know. According to a World Health Organization study, more than 1 million Filipinos are suffering from depression. Latest data from the Department of Health also showed that around 3.6 million Filipinos in the country experienced a mental, neurological, or substance abuse disorder. On the other hand, 1.1 million individuals have major depressive disorder or depression, according to the WHO, which has affected all age groups, whether they are children or adults. The WHO and DOH admit that there's still a stigma and discrimination among those who are battling mental health disorders in the country. They say that this is one of the primary reasons why many decide not to seek help from doctors.
It can be addressed. We need to change our mindset. Mental health is also curable.
It usually starts out with a call for help. Like your friend asking you, may problema ako, or malungkot ako. These are keywords that would lead you to act as what I call a psychological first aider. And what the psychological first aid needs is just his 2 ears. Just being present, just listening. You don't even have to act.
No, I was just going to say, Gretchen, you actually hosted that event today.
Yes, I did. I did host that event today, and I was. They launched the framework for the next 5 years, but they did talk about the major strides made in the past 5 years. This was passed in 2017.
Oh, wow.
Just before the pandemic. And even with the challenges of COVID, they were still able to institutionalize mental health policies across schools, workplaces, LGUs, and bring it down to the community level. So that's what the Mental Health Act is all about. It's about making sure that the conversations on mental health are not distant, are not something that you talk about in the hospital setting, but in
accessible
day-to-day life.
Right. And should be affordable too.
Should be affordable.
Right.
That's why there's a package that's being launched.
Yeah.
And as we know, it is kind of inaccessible to a lot of people still. Even those
lot
with
of
the
barriers.
means, it's a lot of barriers, limited number of mental health professionals.
The cost.
The cost is exorbitant. So I'm really glad that PhilHealth has made strides because every day, in my opinion, should be Mental Health Day.
It's really good to hear that they actually have a roadmap
Yes, so
Right.
that's what they launched today.
Yeah.
But what I liked about it is how they emphasize how mental health encroaches on different arenas, like human rights, for example.
Yeah.
Human rights violations.
It encompasses everything
Yes,
when you think
like
about
labor,
it. Yeah. Gender equality.
Yes.
Right. Even climate change.
Yep.
You could kind of make that argument. But as we said, the DOH has launched a roadmap to improve mental health services in the Philippines. JC Cosico was on hand to cover this story as well. JC, what do you have for us?
Reg, the health department admits there is a shortage of clinical psychologists and psychiatrists in the country. Still, the work continues as they look to bring mental health services closer to communities. The agency said PhilHealth's outpatient benefit package for mental health will be available in the coming weeks. This includes packages worth up to 16,000 pesos per person per year and will cover screening, diagnostics, treatment, and psychosocial support for patients. Now, Reg, earlier, the Philippine Council for Mental Health Framework 2024 to 2028 was launched, aimed at addressing mental health concerns in the Philippines. The Education Department as well as the Labor Department vowed to ensure the promotion of mental health in schools and in workplaces. Back to you.
Thanks for that update. That was JC Cosico.
Right, moving on to another story now. The Justice Department says that the NBI will conduct a probe into allegations of corruption over at the LTFRB. This is despite so-called or erstwhile whistleblower Jeffrey Tumbado recanting his accusations. In a press conference earlier today, Justice Secretary Boying Remulla said that the NBI is set to summon Tumbado over this issue.
Meron kami anti-graft desk sa NBI. Usually yan, motopropyo, pinupuntahan na yan ng agents ng NBI. But we will remind them.
We're going to pause for a quick one right now. But right after that, we're taking a look back at Gilas Pilipinas' historic Asian Games run with none other than team manager Alfrancis Chua. Don't miss it. Welcome back. You're still watching Big Story here in One News.
Ending a 61-year championship drought, that magical semi-final performance of Justin Brownlee, Gilas Pilipinas' gold medal win in the 19th Asian Games, is undeniably one of the best stories in Philippine sports history. Still, there's more to Gilas' landmark victory than meets the eye, and who better to talk to than Gilas team manager Alfrancis Chua, who joins us live in the studio finally. Thank you for joining us, champion.
Congratulations, first of all.
Top in Asia.
Like to
Diba?
emphasize on that.
It's so nice to tell everyone that we're number one now in Asia.
Yeah.
Right? After 61 years. Walang baliwala.
So, ang tanong, coach, anong mas masarap na panalo? Yung sa China o yung sa Jordan?
Sa China or sa?
Sa Jordan.
Sa China. But, you know, what happened was, sa China
Talaga?
Kasi lahat binubu kami. Everybody's
talaga?
like booing us. We can't even hear each other.
Ganun kalakas?
Yeah. No, when we're playing against Jordan, because they're expecting they're going to play in the championship, I think.
Yes.
That's why everybody's buying their tickets because you have to reserve your tickets like 4 or 5 days before, di ba? So, nung kalaban namin Jordan, hindi puno. Hindi nanonood yung mga Chinese. Yeah, because they're expecting, but when we played against China, punong-puno talaga. You know, but when we played against Jordan, hindi na ganun kapuno.
Coming into this Asian Games, I mean, we had, lows in the FIBA World Cup.
Yeah.
We won against China. We ended that on a good mark, but before that, it was quite challenging. For a team manager, how did you assemble this team? How did you put them together? And what were your expectations?
Yeah, because the problem before is lagi na lang no time, chemistry and everything. So now, PBA, especially Chairman Ricky, so we form a team with Coach Tim, of course, lahat taga PBA. So, meron taga San Miguel, like how many players from San Miguel, Ginebra, and Meralco. Even though they're not teammates, they know each other.
Yeah. Because they're used to playing each other.
Against each other. So, 1. 2, we got not even 2 weeks. Some of the players practice like 4 days only. 3, bago pumunta ng China because hindi nila in-approve yung 4 na naman. So from 60 to 37 to 6. So we changed again. That's why we went to Inspire. And then, they sleep there for how many nights? I think 3-4 nights. And then, the only thing that I have to do is we have to eat together, talk to them, brownies like Filipino. So wala kaming problema.
Pero coach, iniisip ko lang, right after FIBA and all of, all the negativity, all the negative comments online, I'm sure affected yung team going into this. And then you also face so much challenges, like question mark on the players, no time, the usual, like you mentioned.
May mga hindi available.
Daming ganun, di ba?
Dami
So,
talaga.
how did you feel? Did you feel confident? Did you expect going into Hangzhou na magkakaroon tayo ng gold medal?
Yeah, I told Tim that. Tim's like, sabi niya, paano pag hindi?
You were the one, right?
And then I told him, paano pag nanalo tayo? I'm just, look, sa World Cup, wala tayong pinakita dito. Our back is against the wall. Sabi ko, it's not gonna rain every day. Sigurado lalabas at lalabas ang araw. So, sabi ko sa kanya, baka. Di ba? Hindi mo natin malalaman. So, we start, working. Nakikita mo yung mga mukha nila. Lahat kami na-stress na. But, one game at a time, when we lost to Jordan on game number 3, ang ano namin lahat, babawi kami si Jordan. We didn't know. Kasi ang ina-expect ng tao doon is Jordan against China. So nung nakalaban na namin ng Jordan, hindi na sila naka-adjust. Because we're pro basketball here in the PBA. Every time we play the best of 5, kalaban kita, susunod kalaban kita, I'll make adjustments. Sila, iba-ibang kalaban nilang countries so they cannot adjust. Now, when they beat us by 20-something points, they're thinking, pareho pa rin to. Kami ang nag-adjust. So, hindi sila naka-adjust.
So, Coach, paano yun? Please explain to us. Kasi dati, sasabihin nila, dapat we should get pro players. May ganyang argument, diba? Dapat hindi professional yung players. But now, we went and we won with puro professional players.
No, but the thing is, kasi aksidente yun eh. We don't have time anymore. Imagine, they told us 2 weeks that we need to send players. Sino pupuntahin natin? All the guys playing in Japan, they left already. Lahat umalis na eh. So, dito na lang kami. Diba?
Do you think we found the formula? I mean, like, sabi nyo nga po, itong mga PBA guys, sanay na sila sa isa't isa.
Yeah.
The MVP group, SMC group, are together on the same page. Coach Tim Cohn, sanay na kay Justin Brownlee, sanay na kay Scotty Thompson. Do you think that's the formula? I mean, we've been trying things.
In short, she
here and
wants to
there.
know if you can replicate the success.
Right.
No, but the thing is, the problem is the schedule. Like, for example, if it's a PBA season, and then merong national team na lalaruan, you cannot stop PBA. Like now, because of the World Cup, we got 2 conferences.
Yeah.
Baka magalit naman ng TV5, wala na kayo mapalabas. 1. 2, of course, the owners of the PBA. So, kaming PBA, nag-adjust na kami na grabe.
Super.
That's why we got, ang picks namin, meron kaming special pick Di ba? For the national team. But again, etong nangyari na lahat PBA, aksidente lang. Because we don't
by
have
no
time.
choice.
No, we don't have choice.
Walang
Wala
choice
nang mga
talaga.
player nag-aalis sa lahat eh. Anong gagawin namin? Di ba saan kami kukuha? And the list, like 60% of that coming from UAP. Papayag bang UAP kumuha kami ngayon ng players sa kanila, dalhin doon naglalaro sila. So we cannot. So the only thing that we have to do is like, no, Junmar left already. Nasa Cebu, tinawagan ko lang. Junmar, I'm sorry, but ganyan. Okay. Uwi siya.
Balik siya.
Si Scotty may ticket na. Sinabi ko sa kanila, babayaran ko. Kaming personal ko, I'll return your tickets. Si Scotty kinancel niya. And then I talked to some of the players. Si Brownlee, misa paalis na. And then Brownlee, when Dr. Canlas told me it's only 85%. Kasi galing sa surgery. And I told Brownlee, what? I'll do this. And then I talked to each and every one of them. I talked to Alas, Tolentino, Marshall, Ross, and kasi yung 4 hindi pinayagan. So we got 2 more nights or 3 more days to practice. I called them 11:30 at night and told, sorry, but do you want to play? Yes, we want to play. Go to Laguna. Pinapunta ko sa Laguna ng 8:50 ng umaga. Kasi may practice ang 9.
The next day.
Talaga nag-pack sila lahat, may mga pamilya yun. Alis. So, ang daming sacrifices na nangyari. And kaya siguro kami nanalo.
So good to hear all of that. But we also heard the other day that there were 2 players that you tried to ask to play for Gilas, but asked for the moon.
No, that's... I was there. It was Chairman Ricky Vargas who called them. Team ko asked kung nasan sila. Ganyan. So, Chairman, kasi actually hindi ko sila kilala. Okay, so Chairman called them. And then when Chairman told me, Al, ganyan. Do you want this? Diba? Ganito sabi ni Tim, ganyan. Nung sinabi niya sa akin yung presyo, hindi. Sabi ko, kasi we're creating a team here. Like the 4 of us. Pare-pare tayong player. Or pare-pare tayo. Basta pare-pare tayong player. And I'm playing better than you. But you're getting more than me.
It's going to create a different dynamic.
So pa-start pa lang kami, magkakaroon na ng problema. So I told kay Chairman Ricky, no. You can ask him. I said, no. We'll stick with this. Kung sino lang yung mga willing. Kasi yung mga batang dala namin doon, magpapakamatay talaga.
So now are you at liberty to tell us who those 2 were?
Maybe you can ask Chairman Ricky. Ask him.
Ikaw yung representative niya eh.
Si Chairman Ricky just asked me if I want this. Yung ganun price.
Initials
And
na
I
lang,
said
coach.
no.
Initials na lang.
Sino? Sa susunod na balik ko
Ganito na lang, Coach. Yung mga pumunta sa Hangzhou, like you said, they were super willing. They offered, sa balutan sila the next day.
Yeah.
9 hours later, they were in Binyan. They weren't paid a lot, meaning they didn't ask for anything. They wanted to just fight for the country.
That 12 guys, especially the last 4, even Justin Brownlee, even Kwame. Kwame is from Ateneo, di ba?
Yeah.
Hindi ako tinanong ni isang, lahat ng tinawagan ko, kasi I'm the one who called them. Hindi ako tinanong ni once, are we getting extra? Because they're getting their salaries, because they're playing in the PBA, right? Yeah. But this is a different job, right? But they didn't ask me like, do we gonna get something extra or ganyan? I told them, just play your game. We'll see what's gonna happen. Ngayon, gold. RHA and MVP.
Bonus.
We'll give them bonus.
Ayun.
Di para silang tumama ng di ba? So,
Ang sarap lang pakinggan eh, na wala silang hining di ba? Parang go lang, walang tanong.
Imagine, it's like this. I'll tell you one story. We're staying in a hotel. We didn't stay in the village. So, the food is good. Okay naman. Boss RHA called me. He said, Al, pakainin mo sila sa labas. So, sabi ko, okay. So, I look for a steakhouse. Sabi ko, tonight, we're gonna eat out. Palakpakan lahat. But we're staying in Hyatt, so the food is really good, no? Kain na kami. Alam mo naman sa China, bawal yung card mo, hindi pwede. Yung cash.
kailangan
Basta hindi
WeChat
pwede.
Pay.
Kailangan
Your card
ka,
didn't
parang
work.
mga Paymaya. Doon sila sanay. WeChat.
The local apps. You
That's
have to
why I
have
told
the
my
local
boss,
apps.
boss, it's harder, ganyan. So, from Guangdong, China, sa brewery ng San Miguel, nagpadala siya ng pera, nagpalipad siya ng tao. Para sa mga players.
To where you are.
Yes.
Okay.
So ano kinain nyo nun?
Nakita ko na lang, steak, lobster, everything. Nakita ko na lang, may nakalagay na San Miguel dito sa airport namin. Is
Coach, may
Chinese.
kinakwento sa akin si mga correspondent natin sa China na parang medyo pinapahirapan daw yung Philippine team delegation. Ba?
Grabe. Okay, I'll tell you one. Because we didn't stay in the village. So we got our own bus. We stayed in a hotel, a very nice hotel. Thank you for the SBP. And then, so kumuha kami ng bus. And then we asked kung pwede if may accreditation para pumasok. Yes daw, yes daw. Pagdating na doon, iba yung kulay ng bus namin. So, every game, we need to walk mga 100-150 meters. Hindi kami pinapapasok. Lakad kami.
Bakit? Kayo
Kasi
lang?
daw, Philippines lang.
Bakit kayo, coach, hindi tumira sa village? Ano yung decision behind that?
No, that's our decision. Kasi ako na-experience ko na before in SEA
Mahirap
Games.
ba?
Pero yung
The food
ibang,
is,
yung ibang
But
team,
you're
nakatira
sure.
doon.
nakatira. Baka dahil doon.
Pwede. Pero naman, ano naman gagawin namin doon? Magnanakaw kami sa loob? Siyempre, player yung kasama namin, Philippines. Hindi nyo kami papapasukin. Okay. Tanong nyo, bakit? Ito nakakatawa. So we played game 1, game 2. Ito na, China kalaban. Lakad pa rin kami. When we beat China, kalaban natin Jordan, bago natin kalaban Jordan, that day, pinapasok kami. Oh. Ba't kami pinapasok ng Jordan na kalaban?
So did you feel it was was there any other team that felt that way? Or Team
Look,
Philippines?
I got my ID. Me and Willie Marshall, the commissioner. So we can stay in the bench. Kasi yun ang usapan namin ni team ko na I'll stay with him, no? Pagdating namin doon, pwede raw kami sa bench. Tinitingnan ID. Pero bawal kami sa dugout. Saan kami pupunta? Pwede kami sa bench, bawal kami sa dugout. Diba? So, away, puro ganun.
Coach, are you sure it's not a language barrier thing? Baka naman hindi naiintindihan
I can
what you're
speak
asking.
Chinese, but not...
You
hindi
can.
pinayagan.
Kinakausap mo in Chinese.
No, pero hindi talaga ganun ka-fluid. But I can understand what they're
pick
saying.
up.
Okay, and you're sure it wasn't a...
Yeah, okay.
What were the Chinese saying when we were up against
They're saying because of the ID daw, it should be colored blue. But it's VIP. So meaning, we can go anywhere. Okay. Ito pa isa nakakatawa. Talagang inaway ko siya, no? Game 1 against Bahrain. May listahan. Naglalaro na, nagra-round robin. May listahan. Pinagpalit nila yung number ni Scotty sa kanya Oftana. So hindi makakalaro. Tama? And then, sabi niya, nag-attend daw ng meeting, it says there, Tim Cone and Richard De Rosario. Tapos may pirma. Yung handwriting, pareho. Sabi na, parehong handwriting yan eh. Where's the original? No, galit na galit yung Chinese. Ganyan, sumisigaw siya. Sinigawan ko rin siya. Kasi, asan yung original? Nung lumabas yung original, yun na yung totoo. Si Scotty, number 9. Si Oftana, number ganito. Tapos, okay. Tapos meron isang referee na nakilala si Commissioner Willie doon. In-explain niya, kinausap yung Chinese na, no, this is the real one. Pero doon pa lang, hindi na makakalaro yun. Pag in-approve nila yun, hindi na makakalaro. So,
Nanggigil kayo lalo, syempre.
hindi, unang araw pa lang yan eh. Pagtapos yun, puro parusa na. Diba? Kaya,
Pero nung game against China, could you understand what may sinasabi ba yung mga
wala
sa
naman,
crowd?
wala naman. In fairness, the referee
Kulang.
called really,
Okay.
Fair.
Fair. Siguro kasi kaya kami. Di ba? So, fair naman. Pero before namin makalaban ng China, patay kami sa referees. Si Justin, dalawa kagad. At, you know, ganoon naman eh. Kung sino yung host talagang, but, you know, playing against them, they're really good. Give them more years. They're young, but they're good. They're tall. They're fast. Pero nung mga parang westernized na rin, pag nakakashoot, gumagano, pailing-iling. Nung nanalo kami, natulala sila lahat. Hindi na alam ko nang sasabihin. Kasi Yao Ming was so mad.
Yeah.
We all saw that
Tinawag
here.
niyang tamad yata, no?
Yeah, remember here, kahit sino magpa-picture na journalist, ayaw niya. Diba? Nung lumakad siya sa harap ko, binati ako kasi hindi ko naman siya nakilala, but, you know, magkakasama kami lagi sa Cuba. kumaway siya sa akin. Sana sabihin ko, ngayon, gusto mo na magpa-picture? Kasi dati hindi nagpapa-picture. Ayaw talaga.
Coach Tim Cone has become a fan favorite.
Of course.
Will you lend him again to the Gilas program?
Hindi ko naman asawa yun eh. Hindi ko kumausap. Di ba? No need to ask permission.
But he
manager.
credits you for changing his mind. Initially,
Yeah. It's like
he
this.
was hesitant, and then he said that
You seem to be good at
it
convincing
was your
people
optimism.
to
It
do
was your
stuff.
optimism that convinced him. Okay,
No,
let's
but
try.
again, I'm not going to be in this position if my boss will not going to allow me. So when I asked my boss, he said yes. And then I said, Chairman Ricky and my tokayo Alpanilio wants Tim to coach. Kasi wala na talagang oras eh. Sino pipiliin? So I talked to Tim. Ayaw talaga ni Tim. May magic word eh. Boss RSA said, gawin mo.
What, in your
pala yun.
opinion, did Coach Tim Cone do right with this set of boys?
Oh, with this team?
Yes.
He explained it so nice to them and then telling them from the start, we're gonna get a medal. Imagine that from the start. When Jordan beat us, you know ano sinabi niya? We'll get back to them. We'll beat them. So ibig sabihin, makakalaban namin ulit. Hindi
Speaking
na
of
namin
getting
makakalaban
back,
yun.
Coach, I have to interrupt you because we have to go for a quick break, but we will get back to our conversation. We're chatting with
Maybe his
Gilas,
mind will change
GM,
after the break.
Alfrancis Chua. We're going to continue the conversation after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back. You are still watching The Big Story here on One News, and we are still talking to Gilas GM Alfrancis Chua, who was regaling us with stories from Hangzhou, China.
So, are you gonna lend Coach Tim Cone?
Ayun na naman.
Sabi yung deja vu yun ah.
Hindi naman daw niya asawa. But he listens to you. Let's admit that.
What?
Yeah. He listens to you.
He's older than me. Hindi ba may sariling isip na
It
yun.
doesn't work that way naman,
Yeah.
Coach.
No. I think it's about the schedule. That's why I said when I was there, SBP should plan it right away.
Yeah.
Why? We got, I think, window this coming Feb. Right?
Olympic qualifiers. po ba yan?
Right.
Ah, ah.
Feb. Feb may PBA.
Oh, yeah.
Paano yun?
Will the PBA is a commissioner willing to adjust again? Or may mga boss din siyang
Wala na, nakaano na yun eh.
Nakaset na.
Nakalatag
Kasi,
na. Oo.
like for example, they paid Araneta already, they paid yung mga gyms.
Yeah.
And then we got a contract with TV5. So you cannot adjust yung, di ba?
Yeah.
And like for example, if I'm the coach and I want this player, maglalaro ng championship. Paano mag-ensayo yun?
Wait, Coach, pero kasama ka pa sa team management for the Olympic qualifiers in Feb?
Hindi ba?
Or will you be busy with the PBA?
Of course, I got 3 teams. Di ba? I'm handling the 3 teams. So, di ba, talagang mahirapan. But, we'll never know. We'll never know, really.
Coach could change.
Coach, sabi mo, si Coach Tim Cone, pag start pa lang, sinabi niya, you're gonna get a medal. Usually, pagka may ganong statement, may naiisip ng plano eh. How did Coach Tim Cone adjust fast to each game? And what do you think were his strengths? I mean, like, to the Jordan game, for example, ang sinasabi sa amin ni Paolo, the difference of this team is that they adjust so fast. They blend they gel better each time. I mean, ano yung, what was...
Because of Tim.
What was the magic? What did he do with these boys?
Tim kasi, will slice, talagang part by part siya eh. Hindi niya guguluhin. O ikaw, ito position mo, ito, and then talagang ina-explain niya isa-isa. That's why in Inspire, we're practicing twice a day. Kasi hindi abot eh. And then, you know, be patient, di ba? Some of the coaches, laro, di ba? Laro. Siya hindi. Walang laro. Talagang half court lang. Talagang isa, A, dito ka. B, although nagkakamali pa rin iba, no? But the group with Ginebra, of course, alam na. And the good thing there, yung mga Ginebra players na na-under sa kanya, that's why I got L.A. Tenorio to handle the different guys. So marami nagtuturo. Kasi even Jong Chico, Richard Rosario knows. Pero yung ibang assistant coach, hindi alam ang sistema ni Tim. See? So we got somebody to help us na ganon para ma-plancha. Adjustment, magaling talaga sa adjustment.
Sa FIBA World Cup, tingin nyo yung mga players natin, medyo na starstruck ba kay Jordan Clarkson? Kasi para napapansin ko when I was watching, like yung ibang players, nagdadalawang isip sa galaw. Hindi nila alam,
That's true.
should I be the one to drive? Should I be the one? Or should JC be the one? I mean, like the level of comfortability playing with Justin Brownlee and Jordan Clarkson.
Honest opinion?
Yes.
They don't know each other. The guys from Japan, hindi naman niya kilala yung iba eh. Like, Pogoy is there, Scotty Thompson. Hindi na alam yung laro ni Scotty, hindi alam. And then, si Clarkson, of course, pag pumalakpak si Clarkson, pinasa mo, manunood na lang sila. What, you're gonna tell Clarkson? Not like Brownlee, papasahan ka talaga. Diba? Clarkson is so good, NBA player. Pero si Justin is a good player, yung teammate niya napapagaling niya. Because he shares the ball. But if Justin got a good shot, he's gonna look for a better shot. That's the difference.
So this time around, they really gelled well together. They knew each other.
Galing, 12 days lang.
12 days.
Like, ganito. Like for example, if you're a player coming from different country, dinala namin dito, may sariling ugali yan eh. Gusto niya mag-isa lang, ganito. Doon pa lang may problema ka na. To handle the team, hindi, walang samahan na nangyayari. Not like Justin, lahat kabiruan niya. Diba? So, yung chemistry na sinasabi is very important. Yeah, very important. Saka wala nagsisisihan, diba? So,
Well, I'd like to, give you a warm welcome here at TV5. We hope for more collaborations.
Yeah.
Between
Between
SMC and MVP.
Because chemistry also matters in that space.
MVP, how you say it, MVP, they're partners now,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
This is carry over
Kaya
to
nga sabi
basketball.
ko,
It's so good to see, by the
in
way.
basketball, in any sports, if you're there, you got the two guys behind you, sarap.
Oh.
You're
Diba?
golden.
Yeah.
Sarap. They're calling each other and telling,
I know.
if they're gonna give bonus to the players, usapin dalawa. Kung,
Lalaki
diba?
pa.
How much?
Nagkahati sila. And then
Wow, ang sarap
it's
naman.
but when I entered the Ivory Win, wala man lang sumisigaw na bonus, wala.
Ang sarap nun.
Ang
Grabe.
sarap, ang sarap. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
And hoping for a bigger, brighter Gilas.
Yeah.
But no pressure.
No
Not at
pressure.
all. Just in your hands.
No pressure.
Right, Gilas team manager Alfrancis Chua, thank you so much for your time, Coach. That's it, unfortunately, for the show on this Thursday night.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.
Thanks for tuning in. As always, good night.